What's going on, people? Welcome to the player ratings. Palace 3, Wolves 2. We're going to the international break with a win, and we're going to be discussing some of those individual performances that led us to the victory at home in the Premier League. As always, we want your comments, so let us know your ratings in the comment section down below, and leave a like and subscribe. Let's try to get over 100 likes, people. I'm joined by Patrick here. Patrick, happy with the win?
I'm good. Very happy with the win. Let's move.
Yeah. Let's talk about the ratings. Let's start with the goalie. Because look, we conceded 2 goals. And you can make the argument, could Sam Johnson could have done better. You gave him a 5.5. I gave him a 5. I gave him a 5 because maybe he could have come out for the crosses, potentially. But apart from that, I mean, he could. My main reason was the 2 goals conceded. I mean, I can't really give the goalie. He didn't have much to do, and when
he didn't,
and when they did have the opportunities, they scored. That's why I gave him a 5. What about you?
No, same thing. I mean, he wasn't that busy. Only made 2 saves. Gave up 2 goals. Distribution long was poor. 5 of 16 long balls were on target. I just thought he had a very average game. And guess what? Dean Henderson's here, so too many games. I'm not trying to be funny, but too many games like that, he won't be starting.
Yeah, he's going to be knocking on the door. Let's move on to the right back, Joel Ward. He was the main talking point after the Brentford game, and he done well today, Patrick. I gave him a 7. We both agreed on our ratings. 7 clearances, 3 tackles, 66% passing accuracy, 23 out of 35 accurate passes. Not the greatest, but 3 out of 4 ground draws 1. But yeah, I thought it was a solid game. Nothing too great, nothing too bad.
But I would say on a major positive, Neto is a very good winger, and he kept him in check for the most part. And if you noticed that the ball that Mateta backed to Ebbs for the goal was from Ward's pass, long ball. So credit to him for that. So solid game for Ward. Good bounce back.
He was a target. And he managed to hold himself down well, relatively well. Now, moving on to the centre backs, we can talk about them both because we gave same ratings. Gahey 7.5, and you gave Gahey an 8. I gave him Anderson a 7.5, and the same with you with an 8 on Anderson. I thought that had a good game. We saw it in the first half. I think Joachim Andersen underlapping was interesting because he didn't have much going, and he tried to get involved once again. And Mark Gahey had moments maybe in the second half where he tried to push forward. But then again, I'll be honest, I need to watch the goals back because I haven't had enough time. Of course, we're doing the ratings after the game. And maybe with the 2 goals conceded, that's why I didn't give them a higher rating, but I thought they had a relatively solid game. What about you? Did you think there was at fault for any of the goals?
Okay, so the first goal, definitely not. That was definitely on either Lerma or Schlupp. We'll get to them later on when Chan scored the goal. Second goal was scored by Cunha, and I thought, honestly, all game, Gahey did a great job on Cunha, who's a very good forward, but he did lose him on that play, so you mark him down. But remember Tim mentioned about Gahey's celebration? I watched it back. You have to watch it again. It's a great celebration by Gahey when the first goal by Edouard. So credit to him for that. Extra points for that. And Anderson, for me, you just mentioned overlapping, but just the first half, he's by far our best player. I thought we were so poor first half, but Anderson stood out. So for me, they both deserve the solid 8 rating for me because I think they were both solid back there. And again, Wolves going forward are not bad. So, we kept them in check. I mean, 2 crosses, we could have done better one, but only a fault for 1, not the first goal for sure.
Yeah, and just a quick thing on Anderson, not to be negative or cause something that shouldn't really be talked about, but I thought I'd quickly mention it. If maybe you didn't see on TV, but I'll be honest, maybe I was just focusing on him too much. His body language just seemed a bit off in first half. He seemed a bit frustrated. He didn't seem like he was playing as frustrated, but I could see it. He was a bit annoyed with Sam Johnson at times with not passing it short. Cunha tried to get at him, so that was my observation with Anderson.
That's a great point, Dee, because during the game, the televised game, the comms, they actually mentioned that he was frustrated because he was trying to play long balls and no one was releasing. Like Schlupp wouldn't go wide, Ayew wouldn't go wide. He was getting frustrated. One time he kicked the ball, I think on a kickoff, he could kick it wide and no one got it. So I think he frustrated our tactics. He wanted to play these normal, Olise, Zaha diagonals, and he couldn't do it. So you're right about that. It's a great pickup.
Okay, yeah, I noticed that as well, but thankfully we got a result, so it's not really a cause of concern. Now moving on to Tyreek, 7.5 from Patrick and an 8 from me. I thought the assist was very good. Of course, we're going to talk about Edouard. And you know what? Defensively, I thought he was solid once again. 2 clearances. Well, I know he didn't make any major tackles, but he's looked in place so far this season defensively. Like quietly, he's actually improved his form, and he got an assist today as well. But yeah, so I gave him an 8 because I just thought done well going forward in terms of getting assists and didn't have much cause for concern defensively.
So I watched the just watched the post match interview with him and Palace TV Plus, and he mentioned that tactically one of the goals was for him to go higher up the pitch, and he's working on crossing. So I'm actually giving him an 8 because honestly, that cross to Edouard was brilliant, and he's gotten better. I mean, he needs to be a better crosser because he's going to be our best crosser from the left side. But the assist was brilliant, and his overall play today, like you just said, 10 recoveries. Defensively, is very solid again. He played really well today, I thought. So good for Tariq.
Yeah, interesting. So you upped your rating from 7.5 to 8 as well.
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
No rules.
I watched the interview. It was good. Good interview. Good interview. Yeah.
Lerma, 6.5 from me, 7 from you. I'll be honest, just not Lerma. We'll talk about Decore as well. But the midfield, they didn't have a bad game, but it wasn't a great game, especially in the first half. I just thought it was a bit too sloppy. And yeah, I mean, based on the stats anyways, if you're interested, he had 81% passing accuracy, 50 touches in a game, 1 shot on target, 2 key passes, according to SofaScore, and 2 out of 6 long balls won as well. But in terms of ground duels won, he's only won 2 out of 8 and 1 out of 1 in the air. I just didn't think Lerma had a very good game, but it was an average game for him, for his standards that he set anyway so far. It's not a bad game.
I agree with that. I mean, he did help set up that chance for Ayew first half, which Ayew has to score.
Oh, that and
then he had the rebound. He hits his shot, I think, over the bar. It was blocked, so he could have scored on that. But I mean, I thought again, you're right. It wasn't a typical Lerma game. It's a little bit, out of sorts a bit. But again, he's not going to have 8 out of 10 games every time. So if he has a little bit off, it happens. But again, not one of his better games, but again, he's been top notch so far this season. So
yeah, Cheik, alongside him, you gave Cheik a higher rating, 7.5, where you gave Lerma 7. I gave them the same rating personally. How come you gave him a 0.5 high? Was there any reason, or just eye test?
There's a couple of reasons why. Again, we watching the game a little bit helps. 88% passing accuracy, but 83% of his tackles he won. 4 interceptions, 9 recoveries. Very good defensively in there. Underrated. That's his game, but underrated. And he was involved in the first goal. The ball that was played out to Tariq for the cross was from Decore. We got to look at that second, what we call it in America, that second assist. He don't play that ball to Tariq wide open, get the cross. We don't get that first goal. So extra credit for him for that. And again, he wasn't spectacular. He's a little better than Lerma, and he was a little bit more solid. And I thought he played a decent game today. And again, the stats back it up. Again, solid passing, the second assist, the recoveries and interceptions, etc. I thought he played well today.
Yeah. I thought he had an okay game.
Solid game.
Ebbs now 8 from you, 8.5 from me. I'll be honest. He's taking that role from Wilf in terms of the creativity, in terms of who's going to create chances. Of course, when Elise comes back, that's going to be different. But I just feel like with losing Wilf, we haven't looked out of place because of Eze. I mean, whenever he's on the ball, he looks like a force. Goes into central areas, goes out wide as well. Scored a goal, fantastic goal. Of course, Mateta was involved, so trust me, wait on the Mateta rating. It's going to surprise you for a few of you anyways, based on my rating and Patrick's rating. But yeah, I thought Ebbs caught up to the England squad, went into this game, maybe could have done a bit better in the first half, but second half, he was solid. Very good.
Yeah, he had a very good game. Critical to us getting back into the game as far as taking the lead, a great goal. But my own, again, I thought I gave him an 8.5 as I've written down. If I typed 8 to you, that's fine. But the only thing I'm going to say about him is that the set pieces have to be better. He had a great free kick that was saved by Sarr, but delivery on corners has not been great. And we have to create more on set pieces. We have Lerma, we have Anderson, we have Gahey, we have Edouard. That's my only thing about Ebbs today. Ebbs today was very, very good creating chances, but the set pieces are just not good enough. Again, he had the one free kick that Sarr made a great save on. But in general, his delivery on set pieces is not good enough. Hopefully, he'll be back to help out with that. Maybe too much pressure, him taking every set piece, every corner, every free kick. But overall, today, Ebbs was very, very good.
Yeah. Now let's move on to the wide players and let's get this out of the way. Jeffrey Schlupp. 4 from you.
Right, I got some on this. Go ahead. Go.
I mean, surely this is the game where he loses his position in the team. I mean, the subs made a difference. We're going to talk about the subs, but for me, my main problem with Jeffrey Schlupp is I just don't understand his role. I just don't understand what he's trying to do. Yes, you might be thinking he's there for defensive duties, but defensively, there's nothing that I've really seen that Jeffrey Schlupp has done. Going forward, the same either. I just think he looks a bit unfit as well compared to what we've seen in the past with him. He's looked more mobile in the past, had a bit more energy, but in terms of stats, only 28 touches in 71 minutes. That's not good enough. That's not good enough for Palace. He came off the game, we improved. And based on that reason alone, I just thought Jeffrey Schlupp just had a poor game, and we need to stop with this experiment with Schlupp because it's not working. It's simply not working. And today, I felt like the subs and Mateta coming on pretty much wasn't a good look on Schlupp because the game changed and he changed for the better. We scored 3 goals, looked way more dangerous going forward. I just don't know what else to say with Schlupp because it's the same thing week in, week out. What is his role? What is he trying to do?
So I'm not going to change my rating of him, but again, I did get a chance to watch both the match highlights again and 2 interviews in the post-match. One with Paddy McCarthy, talked about our tactics, and the one I talked about with Mitchell. Mitchell said that his role was to get wide left, and by doing that, he said midfield had to tuck in. He's talking about Schlupp. So Schlupp was definitely told not to get wide. We all know he's not great going wide anyway, so he's hoping that defensively. But also, I mentioned the goal by Edouard. In the build-up, that interplay is between Schlupp and Decore before he gives it to Mitchell. So credit for him. It evolved in the goal, but you got to go back and watch it again. You'll see it. But again, I agree with you, D. I'm not exactly sure if someone else in that role couldn't do better, whether that be Hamada or Raksaki switching. We talked about that during our post-match shows. But I'm telling you right now, as much as you and I keep talking about this, banging on about it, unless the manager falls out in love with Jeffrey Schlupp, he's going to play. So we move because it's not nothing going to change. But
I'll be honest, I wasn't even too mad about him starting, funny enough, because I felt more disappointed about Hamada and Jez's performance anyways against Plymouth. They got subbed off and the game changed like that, and I expected them to do a bit more. Maybe that's why Roy started him, because Schlupp, he got an assist against Plymouth. But going forward, it's just not working. It's not working. But let us know what you guys think in the comment section as well with Jeffrey Schlupp. Do you think Roy will make the change, and do you understand why he has been playing? Now let's move on to Jordan Ayew. 5.5 from you, 7 from me. I'll be honest, you give him a low rating, Patrick. I thought, look, the first half was one of his worst halves so far this season, and that's because he set the standards high. But I thought in the second half, he got a bit more involved.
He definitely got more involved with the most foul player, but his passing was poor. I mean, you talk about Anderson being frustrated. There was a time when he gave ball to Anderson. It was an overlap, and it was like 10 yards at Anderson. Anderson just ran and tried to get it, and he couldn't catch it. So his passing was very poor today. And honestly, you know me, I have no issue with Jordan. I've always kind of backed him. That missed chance could have been critical the first half. He had to score that goal. That was a great job of pressing. You're one-on-one with the keeper, and he beats the keeper, and the guy on the line clears it. So again, I'm not going to kill. He wasn't the worst player on the pitch today, but I just thought he could have played better. And you know what? He's playing so well this year. I'm holding him to very high standards, so that's why I gave him 5.5. But he wasn't awful, but he could have done a lot better today. That's what I'm saying.
Now let's talk about the strikers. Let's talk about forwards, because forwards being the main discussion point. And let's start off with Eddie. Eddie, 9 from you, 9.5 from me. Jeez, look at the numbers. Wow. Look at the numbers.
Numbers are high, bro.
9.5, 2 goals, of course, from Edouard today. But as I've said in the past, what I expect from a striker is if they're not going to score goals, I want them to contribute to the game. So despite us having a poor first half, I thought that 1 or 2 times when he was on the ball in the first half, he tried to have good link-up play running behind. So I thought even though we weren't great as a team, I thought Edouard still contributed. And in the second half, of course, getting them goals, absolutely fantastic. And yeah, he only had 31 touches, but led to 2 goals, and he was dangerous. I thought like he was involved throughout the game. Patrick, that's the only reason why I didn't give him a 10 out of 10 is if he scored a hat-trick, then that could have been a 10 out of 10. It's all about context.
Just to be clear though, so we didn't do a ratings for Plymouth. So basically, Mateta gets 10 out of 10 for that performance, right, against Plymouth.
Well, we're going to talk about Mateta's rating in just a second.
No, I'm asking about he gets a 10 out of 10 for Plymouth, right? If we'd done one, right? I would have given him a 10.
That's in the past.
Right,
I'm joking. Yeah, he'll get a 10 out of 10. Of course, Mateta will get a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 against Plymouth.
One, I watched the interview again. Interviews are hilarious. Mateta and Edouard do a funny interview post-match with Grierson. You got to watch it. They're 2 of them together, 2 clowns. I love them both. They're hilarious. But in the box today, Eddie was clinical. You know, the funny thing is, D, last year he scored that great goal against Leeds when he ran onto it from that pass by either Ebbs or Lisa and smashed it in. That's an Edouard goal. But so are the ones he scored today. Fox in the box, getting across the defender on a cross for the first goal, and then an interplay with Mateta, 1-2, bang, score. The guy's a goal scorer. He just is. Confidence is up. Loves playing with Mateta. And by the way, talk about that after the match too. They went to a 4-4. Actually, it was 4-4-1-1. They said that Eddie played in the hole behind Mateta, which was effective. Right. So whatever you want to call it, man, it worked. Can it work from the beginning of the match? Probably not. But Mateta and Edouard together were great. Kudos to Edouard. 2 goals, important goals. What's that? 3 for the season or 4 for the season, 3 in the league. Long may it continue. I'm looking at 15 now. 15 for the season.
15. 15
minimum.
Target.
15.
Yeah, I mean that'll be very good.
Put it out there. Put it out there. 15.
He has the talent. If he has the confidence now,
no doubt.
As I said from the first game against Sheffield United, if he looks interested, then there's a play in him. But in the past, his body language was just off. I don't know why. I might have had problems with Vieira, maybe. I don't even know. Let's move on to Mateta. 8.
Oh,
8.
D.
Come on. You praise this guy all this much, and you gave him an 8. You gave him an 8. Is that?
I feel bad now. I feel bad.
I gave him a 9.5 because I'll be honest. Yes, he didn't score 2 goals. He had 2 assists, but without Mateta coming on the pitch, he changed the game. Mateta did change the game, and he's changed the game twice. As you said, I would have given him a 10 out of 10 if we done player ratings for Plymouth, but we couldn't really watch the game, so we couldn't do player ratings.
Of course, I get it.
And in this game, he made the change. He made the change, and he was fantastic. And he was near enough 10 out of 10 in terms of coming off the bench. Patrick, how are you giving him an 8?
I don't know. Based on your 9.5, I feel bad. That's my guy too. I feel bad. Listen, 2 assists. The man made an assist off his back and then said he did it on purpose. Ebb said that's what he told me. And then the 1-2 with the flick to Edouard on the second goal was great. Listen, I'm changing my rating to a 10. If you get 9, I'm giving it a 10.
You just had to get one up from you, innit? You can't change it. But you can't change it now. We changed it earlier. Right. User go. Stick with 8.
Right. I'll keep with the 8, but my brain says 10. But listen, man, game changer. Listen, you know I'm a big fan of his. I don't think he's, again, the great striker in the world, but he's not the worst. Let's just be fair with him. I'm glad he did well today. He hasn't started the game all season, yet he has, 3 goals now, 2 assists. And 2
games.
Oh, actually, he has 1 start, obviously. Yeah. 1 start he has, right. So listen, man. Yeah. Good for him. Big up to him. Long may it continue.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Let us know what you guys think as well in the comment section. Is Edouard, well, not Edouard, is Mateta knocking on the door? Should both of them play together? Stop. Should both of them play together? Should that contract extension be 5 years rather than 2 years? Let us know. Now, let's move on to Will Hughes. You also came off the bench. Look, I've got not much to say. He didn't come off for that long. We both gave him a 6. Do you have anything to add about Will Hughes?
No, I mean, he came on. He was solid for the, whatever. No, I mean, it's fine. I mean, you could tell, obviously, the manager loves him because he's the first guy off the bench after a striker. So you can look forward to seeing Will Hughes on as sub pretty much every game. That's what it is. So that's fine.
Yeah. And then talking about the manager, Roy, 7.5 from you, 8 from me. The reason why I gave it 8 is because I thought he changed the game with his subs. He got it right again, which I thought he did against Brentford as well. And we were much better in the second half. First half, yes, it wasn't that great. But in the second half, it was the Palace that we've seen previously under Roy in terms of the last 10 games last season. So I enjoyed it. That's why I gave him an 8, Patrick.
The issue, again, is the starting lineup. Again, starting Schlupp over others, which we've discussed ad nauseum. But again, he made the sub, not subs, the sub that changed the game. And he changed your tactics, which is great. You can't just make a sub and just expect different. You make a sub and change your tactics, and you make the change, and it works. So credit to him for that. Once again, Brentford did it. Today did it. Plymouth did it. I mean, 3 in a row. He's made the sub at the right time.
He scored a hat-trick as well. I mean, Mateta scored a hat-trick. Roy scored a hat-trick from the sideline. Long may it continue. As long as we start winning, as long as we're winning games, as long as, we're sitting nice in league and winning home games and getting points here and there, then I don't think many of us can complain. But look, that's it from us for our player ratings. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and make sure to check out the live match reaction if you haven't already done so, where me and Patrick were joined by various guests talking about the game, and we went through all the comments as well. Like, subscribe, and until next time, up the Palace.